This is dangerous. This is very real.
A weekend of record rainfall has wreaked havoc on South Carolina. Some parts of the state were hit with 25 inches of rain. Governor Nikki Haley says they're starting to transition from response mode to assessment, but they're not quite out of the woods yet.
I can't stress enough that this is not a fun event. We don't want to have to come out and rescue, and much worse, we don't want to have you added to this number of fatalities.
Officials are calling this a 1 in 1,000-year rainfall. Even as the precipitation begins to taper off, the flooding rages on. 550 roads and bridges are closed as hundreds of National Guardsmen and 19 air and water rescue teams scramble to pull residents from the rising waters.
Jasikarka village in Kavri district of Nepal is just 3 hours away from Kathmandu in a private vehicle. But for people here, it's a day-long journey. When the quake shook Nepal in April, nobody died here. But most of the homes in Jasikarka were destroyed. Food was always difficult to find in this village, but things became worse. Without a functioning market, there is nowhere they can earn money. But a few weeks ago they were told that they would get food directly for doing some work for the village.
These people are here to build a community road. Now for 40 days of work they're supposed to get rice and pulses to last them 3 months until the next harvest. By today they were supposed to have received the first installment, but despite having finished their share of work, many are yet to get their share of food.
The work is under the UN's World Food Programme. The organization has not been able to deliver 260 metric tons of food just in Kavri district, and that's because of a fuel crisis in the country.
The food is in this warehouse for the Kavri district. We were completely on track to distribute it before the major national festival that is starting now. But because our transporters have not one single drop of diesel left, we have distributed only 40%.
Once again, it's those same horrific images, at once familiar and mind-numbing. Aerial shots. This time, another school of police hunting for clues after another mass shooting in America. This one in Oregon at a community college in a town south of Portland. Multiple reports say 26-year-old Chris Harper Mercer walked into a classroom this morning, demanded victims state their religion, then opened fire. Nearly a dozen people were killed, almost as many wounded before police shot and killed the gunman.
Panic and confusion at the scene of a deadly attack. At this school in Sweden, a young man wielding what appeared to be a sword burst in Wednesday morning, killing 2 and injuring 2 others. One of those brutally murdered, the teacher, the other a pupil. These men and women now in a state of shock as details start to emerge of this murderous rampage.
He had a mask and was wearing black clothes. He had blue eyes, but it said he had contact lenses in and with black around his eyes. That's how he is described. We thought it was a joke, Halloween or something.
Residents of a small village in northern England say they're being poisoned by a mountain of rubbish that sits just a few hundred metres from their homes. And to make matters worse, it keeps catching fire, smothering the neighbourhood in foul-smelling smoke. RT's Harry Fear went to investigate.
This rubbish dump has been accumulating for 1 year, and the landowner says he doesn't have the money to clear the site.
£1 million is the estimated cost to clear up here. The tenant of the land piled up to 15,000 tonnes of mixed rubbish, but the waste management firm recently went bust.
The number you have called is not recognised.
I can't begin to tell you the smell and what smells like the fumes coming from this. Part of the rubbish dump appears to be burning, although it's actually freezing cold and lightly raining here. And this is just hundreds of meters from nearby residents' homes.
The black smoke is mainly just smoke, but the foggies could potentially be toxic. Health England's been out just to try and see what is in this.
There's a whole bunch of residents wanting to tell us what they think is going on.
You mean the disgusting state of the village? The fact that we feel like we're being poisoned within our own homes?
My children can't play outside. It's affecting my throat, it affects your head, it gives you itchy eyes.
We really do need something doing about it.
Even the local MP thinks it's a disaster.
There is some monitoring being done, but I'm very concerned that this is causing health problems for my constituents.
Little can ease the pain of Jordanian MP Mazen Ad-Dalain, whose 23-year-old son was killed in Iraq. He died in a suicide attack against the Iraqi army in Al-Anbar while fighting alongside ISIL. Even those paying their condolences appeared shocked and confused. Mohammed Ad-Dalain had left Ukraine, where he was studying medicine, to join ISIL in June. Efforts by his father and Jordanian officials to stop him from entering Syria through Turkey had failed. His father insists ISIL exploited his son.
My son was tricked and used and is a victim of ISIL. The last time we talked, he said it was the last time we'd hear from him. He asked for our forgiveness because he had signed up for a suicide mission.
In their sporadic contact, Dalain says his son called him an apostate, serving an apostate parliament. He says he is against his son's ideology and will continue to fight it as a member of parliament.